Where's Aidan Mersh from NUS? What do you do at NUS?
Membership engagement manager.
Cool. I missed your session on the election stuff, so I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about it.
Cool. So Sussex kicks off doing a 12-month later exercise. So 12 months ago, they presented to say how they got turnout up. And
yeah, they got 50% or something, didn't they, last year?
Yeah, and then they went down this year. So they were talking honestly about they were scared to innovate because it was going so well, and then they didn't innovate, and then it went down. So this year they've got 4 work streams about. One's about communications, one's about democracy, one's about engagement. So like the activity that they get, that they're going to do as a union. So they're going to do like a mini Freshers Week during elections. Get a football team doing 5-a-sides where candidates have to bring 5-a-side teams.
That's cool.
And like loads of big parties and stuff like that. So try and make it as election themed as possible, but loads of union activity to help drive turnout up.
What time of year do they do this?
March.
Since March, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's interesting.
Yeah. One thing that was missing that would be key to Brighton is they didn't talk about doing any citywide stuff.
Oh, okay.
So because you've got the same bus networks and stuff like that,
yeah.
they touched on it like they pondered it in the session.
If they could take over a bus or
like Liverpool do, like so Liverpool.
Oh, do they?
Liverpool run all their elections at the same time, book bus advertising, stuff like make it simple.
All the universities right, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So and then Manchester talks about what they've been doing to get their turnout up. So they had 13,500 votes last year. They had 11,000. So talking about all the engagement activity incentives, but they've really focused their resource on getting loads of numbers of candidates, diversity of candidates, and then this year was moving on to making sure they were active. So they've monitored the candidate. So they had 101 candidates for the 8 full-time positions, and they monitored what they did, and then they classed them on activities. So they're saying that this year 60% of 2 years ago 60% of the candidates were active. This year 70% were.
What does monitoring activities look like?
Are they out campaigning? Are they posting on social media and stuff like that? Because they did this thing about getting more candidates.
Yeah.
And then the next lesson they did was, they need to be more diverse, because as we know, elections are all about building a coalition networks. So we need the networks to be represented. And then it was like, right, we're doing that. We've got a large number of candidates. They're very diverse compared to other unions. Yeah. What we need to do now is make sure that they're really active. So they did a mega training, which was a full day of training, which the workshops run 5 times a day, and candidates could drop in and out between lectures. And it's about, and one of the main ones that they focused on was building a brand. So they worked with candidates to say, right, you need a brand so people recognise, because there's 101 of you. Yeah. People need to recognise either your name or your face by the time they go to vote. And they walked us through, one of the winning candidates did Pink Floyd and did all the Pink Floyd album covers and stuff like that. So like building a brand, engagement activity was mainly the focus, and then stuff on wellbeing.
Oh, right, okay.
And then what I did at the end was really quickly talk about trends. So some of the rules that were getting talked about with NUS last year were external mailing lists. Like people were asking us to rule on candidates using mailing lists with club promoters or football.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like
what is the situation with that?
So
what is the situation with external mailing lists?
Well, there's data protection law. Like if people sign up to that nightclub's mailing list and they use it to promote a candidate, there's nothing we can do as union. You've got to trust the electorate to make a judgment call. Like, do you want your VP welfare to be associated with that club night?
Right, I'm with you.
Stuff like that. So our advice is that unless it breaks the data protection law, unless it's a club or society mailing list or like one of the unions, there is no jurisdiction. You just got to leave it up to the other candidates to say, like, point it out, like, do you really want your VP welfare to be associated with this nightclub, and etc. And the other one was the rise of trolling on social media.
So is that like the Yik Yak stuff and?
So like part of it is, so we've said, look, a lot of SUs that were more successful did stuff like candidate breakfasts, talked about in training, and making and then doing training to try and build resilience and avoid it. And also we've done a toolkit last year called anti-social media, so a few unions use that, and then the election support service that 80 student unions use where we return elections.
Yeah.
Obviously that will be kicking off in October. We'll send out a briefing, and part of that will include the anti-social media stuff again, but framed through the prism of student union elections. So like these are sort of things that we can do now to put into training content and stuff like that, so it becomes less of a problem.